பேராசிரியர் தீபக் பவார் மும்பை பல்கலைக்கழகத்தில் குடிமை அரசியல் துறைகளில் துணை பேராசிரியராக பணியாற்றுகிறார். மராத்தி அபியாஸ் கேந்திரா என்னும் மராத்தி பயிற்சி நடுவத்தின் தலைவர். மராத்தி மொழியுரிமையை பற்றியும் மொழியுரிமையின் தேவையை பற்றியும் அவர் தம்முடைய அனுபவங்களை இங்கே நம்முடன் பகிர்ந்து கொள்வார். Let's welcome Professor Deepak Pawar.
Dear Senthil, his entire team, my friends from the Tamil land, my fellow countrymen from other states of the country, people who have gathered here to understand what people from different states are going to say, and all the people curious to know about things happening on the ground. My participation in this particular program makes me think about a similarity between the Tamil land and the state of Maharashtra. You people had to shed blood to ensure that your language is not, it does not shrink in its space. So you people went for an agitation in 1965 and a lot of people died in that agitation. My state or people who spoke my language went for an agitation much before that in 1956, and late great Morarji Desai, who was a known Gandhian, ordered firing on people, innocent people, and 106 people died. I can connect with your state because Maharashtra and Tamil are these two states, important states, who have shed their blood for protecting their language and getting their state. I am sure once you shed blood for getting your state, or once you shed blood for getting your language, people don't forget their language as easily as our rulers in Delhi think about it. I think we should make them realize this particular thing. Another important coincidence that I find is that the function here is in a marriage hall. And I know what difficulties Senthil and his team had to face when they were searching for the hall. But I think it is a historical coincidence to get a marriage hall for a language solidarity function, because in a marriage there is grief in one family because the girl is going. Here also there will not be grief, but the recognition of somebody's grief that Hindi and English, their dominance is going. And there is satisfaction that solidarity is coming from so many languages. So we are fighting together in solidarity. We are fighting together as Indian languages. And here in this important city of India, we are telling the rulers everywhere, including Delhi, including Chennai, and including my state, we are telling our rulers that we want in every sphere of life our language to be given importance. Our language must become the language of advanced knowledge. Our language must become the language of employment. And our language and we people should not become the puppets in the hands of people. If people are really sovereign, people can't be sovereign without their languages being actually powerful. So I think in a way the preface of the Constitution of India, which talks about we the people of India, this is like a microcosm of we the people of India. We are telling everybody that hereafter we are going to speak in our language. Hereafter we are going to feel empowered in our language. Maybe we are late by almost 70 years. We should have started doing this exercise almost in 1947, but better late than never. We have started this exercise, and I congratulate Senthil and his entire team. What normally people say, things go from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, this time they will go from Chennai to Kashmir, and I am sure people in India are going to feel empowered in this entire process. Try and understand that we are talking on the backdrop where our Prime Minister also tweets in Hindi, and he participates in the Vishwa Hindi Sammelan and tells the whole world that Hindi is going to be an important language of the world. we have no problem in Hindi becoming an important language in the world as long as Hindi does not destroy our present and our future. Our future and our present lies with our language, and therefore, just because of the numerical strength of the Hindi walas, please don't tell us that Hindi is our national language. India does not have a national language. India will not have a national language, and in that photo exhibition there, a very important statement has been mentioned that if India tries to make a national language, it can definitely have a national language of those people who remain after others seceding from that particular union. So if you want to make this entire philosophy into one country, one religion, one culture, one language, let us try and understand that we are like the European Union. We are a multinational state, and therefore let us not try to impose either Hindi or English. Let me also speak to fellow Tamilians and also the Malayalis. See, we people are fighting in Maharashtra against Hindi and Marathi. You, especially in Tamil Nadu, people are very strong, and they have at least till date tried to restrict the entry of Hindi. But remember one thing, Hindi is our nearest enemy, but English is the most draconian enemy that is going to challenge our lives. And when somebody speaks Hindi, when somebody tells you that you are from the non-Hindi region, you can definitely articulate and speak something about it. When somebody says that I love English, that person automatically wants you to believe that he is a globalized citizen. There is a global village, and therefore forget Chennai, forget Mumbai, forget Kolkata. But in my state of Maharashtra, there are people who are very unhappy when we say the city's name as Mumbai, because they are still living in their elite world of Bombay, which they do not know that has already gone away. They feel that these down market Maharashtrians, they speak Mumbai, and how can we connect with them when we are actually living in the bigger Bombay? So you will also find that some people are still happy in your Madras. Tell them that they can develop their own Madras somewhere outside in the United States of America, but this city remains Chennai. This city remains the city of people who have toiled very hard for the development of that city. We had linguistic reorganization of states post 1956. By 1970, almost the entire exercise was complete. But you will see, we have the official language as Hindi and associate official language as English. Try and understand the central government, all the central government establishments, they don't leave a single opportunity of throwing Hindi down our throat, and they try and ensure that all other languages are inferior. Remember one thing, the problem of our languages has to go beyond identity. For a very long time, in your state, the DMK and AIADMK are talking about the Dravidi Asmita, Dravidi identity. I want to ask you a question. If both your parties are so keen on Dravid Asmita, why Senthil and his friends have to organize a program in Chennai 67 years after the independence of the country? The very fact that people are organizing something today, it shows that at least 3 generations of people have not done something which they should have done in the 1970s, 1990s and 2000. Better late than never. We may not have done things earlier. We can start doing those things now. As you must have heard this manifesto that we have come about. When I work in Maharashtra, when Saket works for Koshal, when Gargo works in Bengal, we all feel that we are isolated, we are alone, because we are all gheraud, we are all in a way covered by people who keep telling us that there is an idea of India which all of us must respect. I will tell you, there is no single idea of India in existence. There are multiple Indias, and if there are multiple Indias, then only this country will survive. If you try to pressurize and create a kind of homogeneous kind of a state by killing our languages, people would not tolerate in any part of the country. That is something I suppose people should be able to understand. This particular session, this particular conference has given me an opportunity to understand what is happening in other parts of the country. So many times I do not know what is happening in Karnataka, what is happening in Bengal. And many times, many of the elder generation people do not understand what the young generation is actually doing. So the young generation, they are on Facebook, they are on Twitter, they are trying to do lot of connectivity work. But remember one thing, movements cannot be run on Facebook and Twitter alone. Facebook and Twitter gives you a kind of distance solace, and it connects people because most of us are connected through Facebook today. But if you really want to do something for your language, people have to come out on the streets and people have to undertake some positive agenda. My thinking is, unless and until we focus on primary and secondary education in our mother tongue, we are not going to succeed. And here, the real culprits are our writers, intellectual elites, and our politicians. They send their children to the English medium schools. They are the ones who are lining up outside the convent schools, and then on the public platform, they keep coming and telling you that you should send your children to the Tamil medium school or Marathi medium school. No commoner is going to listen to you unless you practice what you are preaching. So if you don't preach, if you don't practice what you are preaching, things are going to be difficult. Another thing that I wanted to share with you, we generally feel that Marathi is the language of Maharashtrians in Maharashtra. Marathi is the language of Hindus, Muslims, Christians, Sikhs, everybody in Maharashtra, and therefore it is the responsibility of a Maharashtrian like me to ensure that nobody, no Muslim, no Christian, no Sikh feels alienated in my state. They are given all opportunities to understand Marathi language. What is happening, you will see over a period of time, minorities in India are increasingly going towards Urdu. Minorities in India are increasingly going towards Arabic. And remember one thing, Arabic, the education in the madrasas, where mother tongue education is not available, it is increasingly alienating the minorities in states. If you really want to tackle the politics of Hindutva in this present decade, we will have to broaden the definition of what is a Marathi, what is a Tamilian, what is a Bangla. If you don't make these definitions inclusive, we are not going to succeed. Another thing that we all have to keep in mind is this particular hoax pronouncement of globalization. People keep telling you that globalization is there, we have to move forward. And in my state, people keep telling me Brahmins have gone away. Brahmins took the education in English and they have moved further. Why should the Bahujan Samaj take education in our language? I'm sure this similar kind of problem would be there in many other states of the country. Remember one thing, after independence of this country, this is the first opportunity that we all have where the Bahujan Samaj or the masses can have imprint on our regional languages. We can really own our language. We can really appropriate and take possession of our language. And while doing that, we have to ensure that the common people, poorer people, they are not alienated from the entire political process as well. Remember one thing, these kinds of gatherings are basically like a platform where people like me vent out their anger, people like me try to connect with other people, but we have to realize that this entire work is basically political. Language is essentially a political issue. Unless you are a member of parliament, unless you are a member of assembly, realizes that taking care of Tamil language is an important electoral issue, he or she is not going to pay attention to your subject. And therefore, we have to create a strong kind of cadre for our own languages. If we are able to do that, I think we will be certainly successful. One or two points I will mention and then I will stop. Remember one thing, Hindi walas are trying to impose their language on us. But the biggest problem that they have is their language is dying in their own region. So we need to understand that what has happened to Hindi today should not happen to our languages tomorrow. Therefore, our entire agenda should be, rather than something anti, our agenda has to be pro something. So our agenda is pro development. Our agenda is pro empowerment. If we say that, we have to give the younger generation a confidence that we will be able to live happily with the help of our language. And please don't tell those people that it is good to be poor, it is good to be middle class. People are not going to accept that. People want to go abroad. People want to travel a lot. People want to crisscross the borders. You have to give them an opportunity, and therefore our language must become the language of technology. Now I was seeing some of the people there working on Facebook, and they were using their language on Facebook. Our language has to be there on the internet. Our language has to become the language of trade and commerce. Our language has to become the language of all type of advanced technology, including biotechnology and nanotechnology. There should be nothing which my language should not be able to express. If we are capable of creating this kind of a mahol, this kind of an atmosphere, I am sure by the time people of my generation die, I am sure situation would be like this, that I come to this theater and I speak in Marathi, and in real time my audience is able to hear that in Tamil. They asked me questions in Tamil, and in real time I get a choice to answer their questions in Marathi. That is what Europe has done. That is what the model we should be following. And therefore, like God, if you believe in God, take it God. If you don't believe in God, take it something else. As God is everywhere, your language must be everywhere. And if your language is everywhere, it will make people realize the importance of the language. And therefore, let us evolve. And I think conferences like this are going to evolve a new politics of Indian languages. We are not secessionists. Our agenda is not detrimental to national interest. Our agenda is not detrimental to national sovereignty. But our agenda is basically real sovereignty to the people of India who can speak in their language. This is how new India is going to be. There are at least two Indias which people are creating. One is Mr. Modi's India, which is flying. And another is your and my India, which is in the cradle. Your and my India can survive only if we challenge this hegemonic idea of Hindi dominance, English dominance, and disempowerment of our people. Let us create that kind of a politics. And see, in 1885, nobody thought that the Indian National Congress will be a vehicle for India's independence. In 2015, on 20th September, nobody will feel, or nobody would believe, or people will ridicule that this is going to be the foundation of a new egalitarian language-based India. And this is the new India that we all have to build. I'm sure all of us would put all their energies for the development and betterment of their language, and we will one day we will succeed, and that success will come sooner than later. Thanks. Jai Marathi, Jai Maharashtra.